Simula ngayong Enero, ipapatupad ng Social Security System ang 1% increase sa kontribusyon ng mga miyembro nito. Itataas nito ang contribution rate sa 15% mula sa kasalukuyang 14%. Mahalaga ang increase na ito para maipahaba ang serbisyo ng SSS sa mga miyembro nito at suportahan ang pamahalaan sa panahon ng kalamidad sa pamamagitan ng calamity loans. Para bigyan pa tayo ng detalye tungkol dito at sa mga plano ng SSS sa 2025, kasama natin ngayon si SSS President and CEO Robert Joseph Declaro. Good morning, President Declaro.
First of all, I'd like to thank the Malacanang Press Corps for giving me the opportunity to explain ano ba tong SSS increase na 1%. Balikan lang ho natin na ang SSSO ay 68, we're on our 68th year. And part ng statement that we released this morning is ano ba ho itong increase na inimplement natin last January 1. Alam niyo po, itong increase na to ay napapaloob sa batas ng RA 11199 and ito ho yung last increase for SSS, and I would like to say that I don't foresee any more further increases in the future. Ano ba ho ang napapaloob sa increase na to? Ito ho ay tatlong bagay. Yung increase na sinasabi na 1%, and that's the title of our press statement. No? It's to clarify that 1% increase. So, ang napapaloob ho sa batas na 11199 is that ang increase ay nagsimula noong 2019 na from 11 naging 12 until matapos po to 15%, which is January of this year. Ang kasama ho nitong increase na to is yung pag-increase ng monthly salary credit. Sa ating, on the lower scale, from 4,000 to 5,000, and yung sa higher scale po is from 30 to 35,000. Ano ba ho itong monthly salary credit na to? Ito ay napaka-importanting factor because dito ho kinakalculate ang daily salary credit ng ating mga miyembro, which forms as a basis of all the benefits of SSS. Most of the benefits. Bigyan ko kayo na example. Itong 1% increase, ano ba ho ito? Yung monthly salary credit na nag-increase from 4,000 to 5,000 and from 14% to 15%, ang katumbas na daily salary credit po sa ating mga miyembro is for 30 pesos. So, ang dagdag ho ng contribution natin is at 5,000 monthly salary credit is 190 pesos. So, kung susumahin ho natin, one benefit ng SSS is kapag nagkasakit ho ang ating mga miyembro, yung 30 pesos ho na yun, and each member is allowed, I think, 120 days in a calendar year for sickness benefit. So, kung magkasakit po kayo, halimbawa ng 30 days, so yung 30 pesos na dagdag ho because of this increase, you multiply it by 30 days, 900 pesos ho yun. Ang puhunan ho natin doon sa dagdag na contribution is 190 pesos. So, sa short term, may benefit ho. Sa long term, similar, I would say, salary bracket, 400 pesos ho ang katumbas nitong increase na to. So, sa 190 pesos ho na idadagdag nyo ho sa contribution nyo on a monthly basis, pag nag-retire ho kayo, and alam naman ho natin na with 120 contributions, you are eligible for pension, so ang dagdag ho nun is 400 pesos. So, kung ika-calculate nyo, 190 pesos in 10 years is about 22,000 something. Within 5 years of retirement, nabawi nyo na ho yung 190 pesos na yun. Ang life expectancy ho ng mga Pilipino ngayon is nasa mga 72 years. So, ibig sabihin, from age 66 until 72, ah, ano na ho yun, tubong lugaw na. So, ang programa ho ng SSS, hindi lang ho tinitingnan yung short term, but even yung long-term benefits for our members. I think doon po napapaloob itong last increase na to. Because, kaya ho din ho, nagpapasalamat ako na nabigyan ng opportunity kami na i-clarify itong last increase, is that ayaw din naman ho natin mag-suffer ang ating mga miyembro. Kasi pag i-defer ho natin itong increase na to, the reality is, ang mahihirapan is ang ating mga miyembro because yung additional daily daily benefit nila po, in case magkaroon sila ng sakuna, hindi ho nila makukuha to. So, I think, yun yung, I wanted to make that statement and I'll be open for Q&A na. Thank you.
Thank you, PCEO. First question, Maricel Halili, TV5.
Hi sir, magandang umaga po. Sir, sa kabila po ng mga explanations ninyo, meron pa ring panawagan to suspend yung increase this January, citing yung sunod-sunod na nangyari sa ating calamities. What are the chances na pakinggan ito, suspension?
Actually ho kami sa SSS, kami sumusunod lang ho sa batas na napapaloob itong Social Security System, and the latest is 11199. I understand na there's a specific group na is requesting to suspend it. But I think the challenge there is, meron ho kaming contribution subsidy program. Baka ho ang ating mga kapatid na mga mambabatas na nag-o-oppose, na nag-request na i-delay to, hindi ba po pwedeng i-subsidize nila para sa kanilang mga membro itong dagdag na 190 pesos na dagdag in contribution. Kasi mas marami ang maapektuhan kung isuspend ho natin itong increase na to. Bukod sa opportunity ng SSS na makatulong during times of calamity, last year, we gave out around 9.8 billion in loans for calamity-stricken areas. Karina and I think Christine, madami ho kaming natulungan, about 500,000 members. So pag i-delay ho natin itong increase na to, hindi lang ho magsasuffer ang mga membro, wala silang opportunity, but also yung capacity ho ng SSS na tumulong in times of need.
Sir, do we have an estimate as to how much yung pwedeng mawala doon sa contribution kapag sinuspend lang, let's say, for a few months? Do we have a computation on that?
Yeah, actually, we have we did some calculation. Ang impact kasi nito is hindi, while minimal ang impact nito with regards to yung tinatawag nating fund life or viability of the SSS fund. Yung short-term benefit ang mawawala talaga sa mga miyembro natin in case na mga ilangan sila ng tulong. And that is very important to us kasi bakit natin i-deprive yung miyembro na magkasakit na ng additional benefit na 30 pesos. And in fact, just to give you the universe of SSS today, 75% of our of the contributions is coming from the formal sector, from the employed sector, and we are very elated to hear the message from Mr. Ortiz of ECOP on the acceptance of this increase from the employers. Kasi yung increase ho, hindi din naman this last increase, may katumbas ho, hindi lang ho member ang magbabayad. kalahati ho ang membro saka employer. So for the voluntary members na ito yung mga posibleng mga manggagawa natin, ang katumbas ho nito is 190 pesos. So,
Thank you, sir.
Next question, Kat Domingo, ABS-CBN.
Hi, sir. Good morning. Sir, why are we implementing an increase when the COA has flagged the SSS collection, underscoring that in 2023, the SSS only collected less than 5% of its over 90 billion in collectibles?
yeah, I think you're referring to, and thank you for that question. I think you're referring to it's an old COA report that talks about the delinquency of employers from SSS. At that time, it was around 89 billion. But based after reconciliation, as of October 2024, that number has gone down to around 46 billion. And we are constantly working on trying to assess ano bang sources nitong discrepancy na to.
Sir, it's based on a June 2024 document, and it's not just the delinquency of SSS employees, but also members. Let me read the portion of the document, if you may.
Sure.
It says that the inefficiency in collecting premium contributions from delinquent employers with only 4.581 billion collected, that's merely 4.89% of the established collectibles. Is it not doesn't it seem unfair for members to have SSS collect more, considering that over 90% remains uncollected?
I think it's not a fair statement also, because the total collection of SSS for 2024 is around 390 billion. And you know what you're referring to is while it probably released in June, the basis of information was sometime in, I think, 2022. So I'm open to have a further discussion on the matter to clarify. But hindi ho nag-i-increase kami, pero hindi kami nagko-kolekta ng mga contribution. Alam naman ho natin na ang SSS ay tinamaan nung pandemic. Madaming manggagawang hindi nakapag-contribute. Madaming mga businesses ang nagsara. And actually, continuous nga ho ang aming communication dito sa ating mga employers na nahihirapan dahil meron silang delinquency. We have a condonation program, and I'll take this opportunity na may condonation program ho tayo during the time of pandemic. Kung meron pa ho kayong hindi nababayaran sa SSS, pumunta lang ho kayo sa mga branch namin or sa aming head office para ho maupuan natin at maiplano natin kung paano nyo masesettle itong delinquency. Tuloy-tuloy ho ang aming, hindi lang ho sa ating mga miyembro, but sa ating mga employers na aming partners. They are our main stakeholders. And as I mentioned, 75% of our collection comes from the employed sector.
Sir, follow up. What is the current or updated delinquency rate of SSS?
Delinquency in relation to loans?
Collection, sir.
Collection on premium contributions?
Yes, sir.
I have to get back to you on the exact number, but what I know is that we are growing at 30% year on year. We are fortunate enough that our population is still growing, and we're still in a pyramid structure. That alam niyo naman, we are a pension fund, so the people that contributes today, ang magbe-benefit niyan are the ones that contributed 20 years ago. Yung delinquency kasi it's by law that you have to pay HSS contribution if you're employed, and that's 75% of our membership base. What I know is for the employed sector, 97% of our formal sector is paying the right contribution rate. So we have about 3% that hinahabol ho namin. And part of our plans for 2025 is paano namin mapapaigtingin pa ang collection efforts dito sa mga employers na probably nahihirapan magbayad dahil meron silang arrears nung time ng pandemic.
Thank you. Sam Medinilla, Business Mirror.
Good morning, sir. I would just like to know how much is the net income and benefits payment of SSS in 2024, and how much is its reserve fund?
Yeah. Actually, I'd like to answer that question in the context na magkaiba ho kami sa PhilHealth with regards to yung PhilHealth law and SSS law. Kasi I think you might be, please don't compare yung reserve fund ng PhilHealth, which is ibang batas sa SSS law. In terms of what we project is, I think we are expecting around, para mas clear, no? Ang pumapasok ko na pera sa SSS comes from 3 sources. Yung number 1 is yung contributions from our members and through the employers. Yung income namin coming from our investments. And the third one is other income namin from our assets and also from the loans that we issue to our members. Ang lumalabas naman ng pera sa SSS is yung benefits na payout namin. And sa ngayon ang pinakamalaking portion ng benefits na yun are coming from the pension and also the death and funeral benefits. So, yung plus minus, we're expecting around north of 100 billion this year that would be going to part of our I could not call it reserve. Yeah, I think we can call it as our reserve fund.
So, yung tapos additional po, given the increase in member contributions, how will this affect the fund life of SSS? And when are you projecting this to last?
Yeah, actually, thank you for the question. And I'd like to take this opportunity also to explain a little bit about itong fund life. Because there might be some notion na itong increase na to is purely related sa fund life. During the last administration, nagbigay ng increase ng 1,000 pesos the former president. And ang impact nito sa fund life ng SSS, biglang naging up to 2032 na lang at that stage. So, 14 years na lang ho ang buhay ng fund life ng SSS. I'm happy to report that as of the moment, we have already doubled the fund life. It's now 28 years up to 2053. But then, actuarial ho kasi ito eh. Ang ideal, kung tatanungin nyo, kasama ko dito ang aming chief actuary, si Senior Vice President Ed Cruz. 68 years ho sa actuarial science ang ideal for a pension fund. And the reason why meron tayong tinatawag na fund life is because defined ho ang benefit ng SSS. And that is something that we will be working on this year, about studies on how to convert from being purely a defined benefit to a variable benefit na. Ano hong impact nito? Sa ngayon ho, there is no way for us to increase the pension of our 3.6 million members because naka-defined benefit to eh. And ang katumbas ho nitong fund life ng SSS would be the unfunded liability, which the way it's calculated sa actuarial science is 68 years. Kaya in the trillions ho ito. So, going back to your question, yung 100 billion ho na to na dagdag na income ng SSS is we would have to invest the money where it is allowed within our charter, and hopefully as we transition to finding ways and means to provide better benefits to our members, makakatulong ho itong perang ito. Ano ba, in the press statement that I released this morning, ang katumbas nitong last tranche of increase is around 51.3 billion. Yun ho yung kabuuhan, annualized. And 35% of this money goes directly to the account of the member. Kaya, kailangan ho, we understand, we are sensitive, we acknowledge yung mga request ho on the suspension ng SSS for the increase. Pero balikan ko ho, mas mahihirapan ho ang ating mga manggagawang Pilipino pag isususpend natin to o i-delay. Kasi ang perang makukuha ho ng SSS ay magagamit ho para mapa-improve pa ang benefits natin in the future. And in this increase nga, itong increase lang na to, sinasabi ko sa inyo na ang on the lower scale, which is from yung 4,000 to 5,000, na nag-increase from 14 to 15%, ang katumbas po nito na halaga is 30 pesos daily salary credits. So para sa mga tao, again, pag nagkasakit ka, yung 190 pesos na dagdag na contribution mo, mababawi mo yon kung magkasakit ka ng 6 na araw. And if you get sick, which you're allowed to claim from SSS 120 days, 3,600 ho yung katumbas nun. So, ayaw naman ho nating, ang mas mahihirapan ho ang gobyerno dahil pupunuan niya yung karagdagang perang yun sa mga taong magkakasakit in the future. So,
Sir, last question na lang po. Na-mention rin po nila kanina na parang after po ng implementation ng RA, nung last tranche ng RA 1122 yata.
11199.
Ay, 11, ayun. Hindi na po natin kailangan ng further premium hike. Until when po kaya yung maglalast na hindi natin kailangan mag-increase ng premium?
You know, what I can assure the public is that the commission, the Social Security Commission and its management team is committed to working on that 15% as the last increase, because it doesn't also make sense when you have to pay more than 15% from your salary, considering that you have to pay your income tax, which is around 25 to 30, 30%, and liliit talaga yung take home. So actually, I take this opportunity sa ating mga mambabatas na gustong tumulong sa SSS. Kaysa ipasuspend natin itong increase na to, bakit hindi ho tayo umupo at pag-usapan kung paano nyo matutulungan ang ating manggagawa by entering into agreement with SSS on the contribution subsidy program, which is open to all. Private individuals, yung mga nakakaluwag ho sa buhay, we encourage you to also work with SSS na baka may mga specific segments of our society na matutulungan natin. Ano ba ito? Example, yung TODA. Kung kayo ho ay nakatira sa isang lugar na meron TODA doon and sila ho ay nahihirapang mag-contribute sa SSS, pwede ho tayong tumulong eh. Kasi yun yung aming programa na hindi masyadong na-disseminate sa ating mga mas nakakaluwag sa buhay, na pwede ho kayong tumulong for people that you wouldn't know na towards their social protection.
Next question, Ivan Mayrina, GMA7.
Sir, balikan ko lang yung finlag ng COA. What are we doing to address inefficiencies in our collections?
Okay. So, before being president of SSS, I was the chairperson of the Collection and Contribution Committee. We have constantly, both on a policy level, we are reviewing yung policy natin ng policy ng SSS with regards to delinquency. And I guess most of you are aware that we have what we call a race program run after contributor evaders na itutuloy pa ho din namin to sa 2025. Madami ho kasi mga nagsarang kumpanya na may delinquency. But rest assured, through all legal means, we are going after those employers that, number one, ang pinakamasama is yung nagbawas ka ng contribution from your employee tapos hindi mo ni-remit sa SSS. Kaya ho may kaukulang kulong pag napatunayan na hindi ka na kinuha mo yung pera ng inyong manggagawa. So, the answer to the question is, we are constantly monitoring. Today, for the formal sector, I mentioned about 3% delinquency. But then again, we are addressing it from both policy and operation. So tuloy-tuloy ho ang race program ng SSS.
I ask, sir, because you said that with the 1% increase in contributions, more or less 51 billion ang mariraise natin dito. So if we can collect the 89 billion na deficiency natin sa collection, we might not have to increase contributions. I know it might be a simplistic way of looking at it, pero baka ho ganun ang isipin ng mga kababayan natin na bakit nyo ako sinisigil na extra, hindi nyo nun makolekta yung mga delinquencies nila.
Yeah, I really appreciate the question. And actually the number, and as I mentioned earlier, that number is already around 46 billion. Very similar to, very close to 51. But then again, if as I've been trying to share with you, it's not about yung bakit natin pahihirapan and dadagdagan yung burden sa ating mga miyembro. Let's look at it from the other side. In case may mangyari sa miyembro natin at we prevent this increase, ang magsasuffer ho in the end is ang ating members na hindi sila makakuha ng karagdagang benepisyo sa SSS because hindi natin in-implement itong increase na to. Kasi hindi lang yung 1% increase, you have to understand, yung monthly salary credit has also changed. Yeah. So,
sir, last from my end, sorry. Yung 68 years ho na fund life natin, kailan natin yung target ma-achieve?
It's a good question. In fact, I asked that question the last time in one of our committee meetings. And actually, that is utopia from the actuarial people, 68 years. The reality is, once we are able to shift from a defined benefit to something variable or a hybrid model, then that fund life of 68 years doesn't come into play much because of the corresponding impact with regards to the unfunded liability. Ano yan actuarial studies, pero I think yung 68 years is a dream na unless we get funding from subsidy from the government, which today I'm happy to report na we are self-sustaining, we won't be I don't think it's practical also to target 68 years.
Eden Santos, Net25.
Follow-up lang po ako dun sa naitanong ni Kuyang Ivan kanina about dun sa mga employer po na hindi nagre-remit. Ilang porsyento po itong mga ito at meron na po ba tayong na patawan ng punishment?
As I shared earlier, we're looking at a number siguro a little less than 3% of yung delinquent employers. In terms of yung napatawan ho ng kaparusahan, I assure you there have been a number of employers we have a number of employers that have been convicted, but at the same time, there are a lot of pending cases in the court now with regards to yung collection. Kasi labag ho sa batas pag hindi kayo nagbayad ng SSS.
Mm-hmm. So ilan po yung 3% na iyon? Mga 100 employers?
No, yung 3% ho, siguro we're looking at around a number of 3% of 30,000 siguro mga, 900, diba? Close to
900
1,000 employers.
Yun pong mga yun ay existing pa yung mga negosyo or meron na pong nagsara after the pandemic?
Actually, maganda hong katanungan kasi yun ho yung aming employers na nagbabayad, na may nakaregister na employees. The universe of employees in SSS is around north of 900,000. And madami ho dun yung mga maliliit na mga negosyo. I think, and napapaloob din po doon yung ating mga kasambahay na 260,000 ang naka-registered na kasambahay employer. So, ang minention ko lang na 3% is dun sa purely employed sector. Kasi I'll take this opportunity na din. For 2025, we will improve yung aming registration and collection for the kasambahays natin. Kasi alam ko na itong segment na to is medyo mahirap mag-contribute, mahirap mag-remit, and yung reporting pag umalis na ho yung kasambahay is medyo mahirap din ho. And also yung gig economy. We are at the stage now that our population, we have a number of workers involved in gig, and that is one segment na pinag-aaralan ho namin kung ano ba yung tamang handling nitong segment na to, from a contribution to benefits and maybe further to insurance, no? Yun po ang tinitingnan namin.
Last question lang ho on my end. Yung kanina nabanggit po ninyo, yung mga makikinabang dito sa increase po nito, 1%, hindi ho 15%, hindi ba?
Yes po.
1% kasama doon sa 15% na kabuuan. 20 years ago po, yung mga makikinabang dito, parang kung titignan po natin, bakit napakalayo nung taon, ano po na makikinabang dito sa increase
Hindi
na
naman
ito?
po 20 years. What I'm saying is that
Okay.
yung for the short-term benefit, for the short term, meron ho mga benepisyo talagang makukuha sa SSS with this increase. But at the same time, the way it's crafted is that may long-term effect din ho. So, ang benepisyo ho nito is merong immediate, meron din hong long-term. Yung sinasabi ko long-term, ito yung mga ating mga pensionat, magpe-pension in the future na may karagdagang 400 pesos sa kanilang pension po.
Thank you, sir. Alvin Baltazar, Radyo Pilipinas.
Sir, magandang umaga po. Sir, since ito ay batas, talaga naman dapat nating ipatupad. Pero, meron ba tayong nakikitang win-win solution para kahit paano, o legal remedy, para kahit paano ma-delay yung pagpapatupad?
Pinag-aaralan ho din namin ang ano bang options. But kami ho, please understand na we are a GOCC and we're tasked to implement the law that covers our institution. So kung meron hong kasi batas to, so ibig sabihin kailangan ho ma-amend ang batas para masuspend itong contribution na to. And kagaya ho nung I saw on TV the other day si Congressman Isidre, he mentioned na it is not something na you would suspend abruptly. Kailangan ho pinag-aaralan. And ang 6 to 8 years ho na ang SSS in existence. And over the years, ilan hong batas na din ang na-amend for the SSS law. In fact, in the inception ho ng SSS, ang covered ho lang ng SSS was the formal sector. It was only in 1980 that na-expand ho to cover yung voluntary members. So similarly, I think if Congress would study the existing SSS law, there's no reason for us not to implement the law if ever it will be amended.
So, ibig sabihin, sir, habang pinag-aaralan natin, tuloy ang kaltas, magre-reflect na doon sa payslip ngayong darating na January 15 and January 31?
Yes. Yes, actually, yeah, that's the reality. Because if we don't implement naman the law, then kami naman ho yung would be breaking yung batas. Kami ho naman ang mananagot sa sambayanan.
Salamat po, sir.
Kat Domingo, ABS-CBN.
Hi, sir. Sir, just for the spirit of transparency, may we know bakit po lang po nag-quadruple yung expenses sa personal services? Because I'm just thinking na maybe if we can reduce some expenses, maybe there's no need to hike regardless of the law. Maybe our lawmakers would have more reason to amend the law to suspend it. Anyway, sir, in 2022, SSS spent for nearly 500 million pesos for other personal benefits. That ballooned to 2 billion pesos in 2023. May we know bakit ganun po kalaki yung in-increase?
Yeah, actually we can look at it in absolute terms, but the reality is the operating cost of SSS as an institution is only 25% on what is allowed in our charter. So while yung absolute figure might be significant, in relation to running an institution, I think that number most likely is justified because it wasn't flagged by COA, and we are working closely with COA to ensure that ito lang ho in simplistic terms, the fund is growing by around 20 to 30% year on year since after the pandemic. In terms of yung aming headcount ng SSS, yung aming mga plantilla position together with the JOs, hindi ho ito nadadagdagan. In fact, ang kakulangan ho ng mga tao ng SSS is in the 1,000. So, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank also the men and women of SSS kasi kahit hindi ho nadadagdagan ang aming mga tao, yung serbisyo naman is na-maintain and nadadagdagan ho. We're growing at around 20-30% year on year. So, the number, we have about 6,800 employees full-time, and we have about maybe 1,000 job orders today. And I think the ideal number is still around north of 9,000 because we're growing. We'd like to, ang plano ho ng SSS is to put additional branches in the future because we acknowledge that there should be a balance between digitalization and face-to-face interaction pa din.
Sir, just a clarification. Ano po yung expenses under personal benefits? Does it include bonuses?
I have to get back to you on the details, but but we are also covered by the GCG law, and also we are in compliance with the civil service rules and regulation. So yung bonuses ng as a government employee or is always aligned with what is allowed by the civil service and the GCG law.
Last question, Tristan Nadalo, Newswatch Plus.
Hi sir, good morning po. Sir, tanong ko lang, nag-usap na po ba kayo ni President Marcos regarding this SSS contribution? Iningi niya po ba yung recommendation niyo, and so far, ano po yung input naman ni President?
Yeah, I haven't had a direct conversation with the President, but I've been in touch with the Secretary of Finance, who chairs the Social Security Commission. And I think in terms of messaging, it's just about being transparent, and you present the programs that you have and explain the benefits, why we are increasing the 14% to 15% and increasing the monthly salary credit. So there's no instruction naman to, but the instruction really is to call a spade and be transparent with this increase that was implemented in January.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Before we end, may we ask PCAO Declaro for closing statement, if you have?
Again, nais kong pasalamatan ang Malacanang Press Corps for giving the Social Security system the opportunity to clarify certain matters. Malaking itong increase na to. And I'd like to take this opportunity kasi kailangan namin ang tulong nyo to further educate ang ating mga miyembro, ang ating mga employers, ano ba ho ang mga benepisyo talaga ng SSS para sa ating mga manggagawa. And that's why I'm proposing that probably we can have maybe once every 2 months forum para makuha din namin ho ang inyong feedback on how we can improve our service. At the same time, we can have the media help us to explain further ano ba ho yung SSS, ano ba ho yung benepisyo ng SSS, at paano ho magiging bahagi ng buhay nyo ang SSS hanggang nandito ho tayo sa lupa. So, yun lang po. So, maraming salamat ho sa opportunity at mabuhay ang bagong Pilipinas, mabuhay ang SSS. Thank you.